You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host, Seth Goldstein, interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I'm, as always, after 330 episodes of Entrepreneur's Enigma, I'm Seth, as you know, the host of the show with Goldstein Media and Podcast Mastery. Today I have R.O.D. Dingler on the show, who is currently stateside, but don't make that assumption that he's always stateside. He travels with his 4 kids all around the world, and it just so happened to get him when he's just outside Pittsburgh across the Ohio line. But you'll blink and he'll be in the UK or some other place that's a little bit more exotic, hopefully, than the UK. But, you never know. But Eric is a global marketing strategist who believes that if your business requires you to be in the office, you don't have a business. Hence the reason why he's all over the world. Because you live to live, not live to work. Exactly.
That's right. That's good.
After living in 20 countries over the last 4 years. That's 20 countries over the last 4 years, folks. That's insane. Eric has mastered the art of the remote first leadership and ultra clear marketing strategy. But remote first. And then figure everything else around that. He is the creator of the Marketing Momentum Framework and the R.O.D² Is it 2? It's 2, right? Squared.
R.O.D². R.O.D².
R.O.D² Team Freedom Framework. That's a lot of F's. Designed to help entrepreneurs stop being the bottleneck in their own growth. So let's get started. Eric, how you doing today, buddy?
I am great. Thanks for that introduction. Looking forward to our conversation here.
Yeah. So how did this all get started? 'Cause I know you do web design, and that's one of those businesses that can be remote. But you weren't always remote, were you?
No. It's interesting. We've actually, over the last several years, met people that do all kinds of work remote. I met a guy that is a furniture maker, 100% remote, moves all around the world.
How's that work?
He just is there's maker spaces and places all around the world and places you can rent and use, and he goes and is inspired by the local the local wood and builds things, but he does a lot of it by hand. He's just an interesting guy. We've met people that are nurses that live remote.
That's a big industry, is the traveling nurses.
Yeah, dentists. Dentists, coaches, consultants, all kinds of things. So
dentist. I guess you travel around, filling teeth.
Yeah. So it's Well, and there's a lot of times where there'll be a practice where a dentist is going to go on maternity leave or paternity leave. And so, this person can come in and be there for a few months and keep the practice going. And so anyway.
That's cool. That's neat how that. All right. So there are some traditional, more stationary jobs that can be remote, apparently.
Yes.
You learn something every day.
I know a pastor that does that. Travels the
That,
world.
though.
Yeah. Traveling the world and fills in at different churches when they're in between pastors or whatever it might be.
That's fine. But you're the traveling web designer, business coach.
Well, yes, we started definitely as, traveling web designer. So I used to run a summer camp for 15 years. That's where I learned how to build and lead a team. And every year got to figure out what worked and what didn't and reinvent myself as a leader. Then we went into, my wife and I planted a church in Virginia. And while we were there, we wanted wanted to adopt. We have 2 children. We wanted to adopt a sibling group. We felt that was something God was asking us to do. We wanted to do it debt-free, but I
Anyone who
needed...
knows adoption, it's not easy to do.
No, no. And I needed to come up with a way on a very fixed income to raise an additional $50,000. And
Right.
so I knew how to build websites. So I started building websites on the side, and my side hustle turned into a business, and I'm an accidental CEO. Um,
Mm, some of the
so
best
what we did,
entrepreneurs are that way. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we decided to keep the business, start a nonprofit to help other families with their adoptions,
Yeah.
use the business to fund the nonprofit, and installed a new pastor at the church. Did that, and then realized, well, we could do this from anywhere. So let's go on a 3-month trip. And
Okay.
that 3 month turned into 4 years on the road.
Wow. You're like out there and you're like, hey, let's just keep going. Let's just keep
Yeah.
going. And
Yeah.
so do you have a home base in the States, or is it, you literally just get an Airbnb for a while?
Yeah. After our 3 months, our what ended up being our test trip, we came back to the States, sold 90% of what we owned, put a little bit in a small 10 by 10
Yeah.
foot storage unit.
The stuff that you
Um,
want to keep. Exactly.
yeah, baby blankets, things like that. Um, and yeah, we've lived in 55 Airbnbs in four
Wow.
years.
Oh, I bet you
Really,
have stories.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Really 3 years, because one full year we were in Costa Rica.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
we were only going to be there for 6 weeks, for my wife to go to. She wanted to learn a little more Spanish, so we went there for a
Yeah.
6 week Spanish immersion school, like a school down there called Ile, and we just met in a great, amazing group of missionaries that were all there learning Spanish before they went on to the mission field. And the 6 weeks went so great. She signed up for another 6 weeks. And before long, we were there for the whole year, for the whole
So
school
now
year.
she speaks fluent Spanish, I hope.
She's pretty darn good with it. It's amazing. Then after that, we traveled some more around Central America, South America,
And used
and
it so you didn't lose it.
yes,
Exactly.
yes, it was phenomenal how well
And
it.
this is all with 4 kids in tow.
All four kids in tow. Yep. So teenage,
Wow.
all four teenage.
Oh, oh. Because I have a teenager right now. That could be difficult when you're stationary, let alone having to catch the next train and getting them up on time.
Yeah, luckily, so Marissa and I, we parented very hard when our kids were younger. We,
Got them on a
parented the crap
schedule.
out of them, if you will. And so we've got four really good teens. But the fact that it was just the six of us,
Yeah.
and every couple weeks we were packing up and moving, and we lived out of carry-on luggage only. Um,
Wow.
Everything had to fit in the 55 liters. And so our kids got really content. It wasn't easy starting out. It wasn't
Yeah,
easy.
but there's 4 of them, so I guess they have their playmates, they have their argument, contestants, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Contestants.
And with technology the way it is today, every kid pretty much in every country all over the world was on Roadblocks or
Oh,
was
that's
in
good.
some
Yeah. For
other
better,
app.
for worse. For better, for
For
worse.
better or for worse, but our kids were able to connect, and we
Yeah,
have
and stay in
boundaries in
touch.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're only allowed online for an hour at a time. But now all four of our kids have WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Um,
You
that's
can't
how the
need that when
world.
you're traveling around like you guys
Yep,
do.
yep. That's how the world communicates. They get more frustrated in the U.S. because their friends aren't on WhatsApp here, and it's like, ah. But
They're like, oh, when we're here, we gotta use stupid SMS. Oh my gosh,
yeah, well,
guys.
they've been introducing their friends to WhatsApp, and they're
Yeah.
WhatsApp advocates at this point for sure. They should be
Oh,
affiliates.
it should
But
be.
I guess it's all free. But anyway, still, so it's just
That's wild.
it's yeah. So they have community now all around the world. At any given day,
That's pretty cool.
I don't know what accent I'm going to hear coming out of a speaker walking through the house. My kids could be talking to one of their friends in Istanbul, Turkey,
That's
uh, Costa
wild.
Rica, New Zealand. I mean, it's just they have friends all over the world.
That's awesome. That's a blessing. More than a curse, it's a blessing. I'm sure. I'm sure there's days when it's like, oh god,
Sure.
but it's always that way with teenagers. But like,
Yeah.
it's also a blessing because they have this experience. They'll look back on their lives And then be like, if they choose to be stationary, fine. If they choose to be, globe hoppers like their parents, great. You've raised, it's a good way to raise kids. Tough way, but it's a good way. It's a good way.
Yeah. Pros and cons to every choice.
Oh, there always is.
Yeah, but that was the thing. We were starting to just live this lifestyle in the United States that we have no problems with. We're not we're in the process of immigrating to the UK, but we're not running away from something. We don't hate the US. It's not a political
No, but why
statement.
not, start over there a little bit? Then you can always immigrate to somewhere else. Like, why not?
There's opportunity there. We think it's going to set our kids up for a better future for personal reasons, and so so we're excited for that. But we have that. But because we had the company, and we have a team, we're able to do this. And we decided to do it now versus later, because when I was pastoring, I would sit with people in hospice. I remember one guy in particular.
And there's always the regrets. There's always like, I wish I did this.
Yeah. I remember one family specifically. I was with him and his wife the last 3 days there as he passed, and on the last night, he's no longer waking up, and it's her and I sitting there, and she brought out this binder and was showing me this massive road trip they had been planning for years when he retired.
And
they were going to get an RV. They were going to do all this stuff. And 1 year from the date he retired, I officiated his funeral. And so it was just like, why wait?
That's a wake-up call.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's live. We call it living our dash. My wife and I both have a dash tattoo on the back of our hand, and it represents the dash on our tombstone one day, and it's just a reminder to make the most of our dash today. Because
I love that.
It's a
little morbid, but I love that. It's kind of a reminder.
It is a little morbid, yeah.
But it's a reminder, and that's important. Exactly. So you've done a lot. You're traveling a lot. What's the best thing about being an entrepreneur? I think I know the answer to this, but what's the best thing about being an entrepreneur versus, pastoring and all this other stuff? What's the best thing about being an entrepreneur?
Watching my team share vacation pictures.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
I love it. We are blessed with a great team. We work hard to have a great team, but every day people around the world are waking up praying that God would bring them a job. And as entrepreneurs, we have the ability every day to be the answer to somebody's prayer. And so I love creating jobs, and then developing my team so that they're better at work, but they're also better parents and better spouses and better members of their
life
community.
in general.
Yeah. And then like last week, we have a virtual break room because my team is global. So we have a virtual break room. And one of the guys shared a video montage of pictures from their most recent. They just got back from a vacation to Turkey. It was his 2-year-old son's first time on an airplane.
Oh, wow.
And we all got to celebrate this family. And he works hard. I don't want to take anything away from what he does.
No,
he
work hard and play hard.
Yeah, he works hard. He earns his paycheck. But we created the company that is providing that for him and his family.
Makes you feel really good as an entrepreneur, as an owner of the company, saying like, look, I helped them achieve that memory, that trip. That's wild. Then the flip side, what keeps you up at night as an entrepreneur? Or not much because you sleep like a baby.
Yeah, I really don't have anything that keeps me up at night anymore, I should say.
Because you've been doing it for 4 years. Not the traveling part, which I think would keep you up at night, but you're kind of practicing that. And how long have you been doing the business for?
6 years.
Yeah, so at this point, you're past the 5-year mark.
Yeah.
And you've done both. I can see you sleeping pretty well now. I'm sure there's nights when you wake up like, but not often.
Well, and I learned a long time ago that leadership isn't about getting it right. Leadership is about pivoting. I recently just I'm gonna open it up here so I get it right. as we're approaching the 250th here in the United States, I've been
Hard to believe.
reading about some of our, some biographies of our, those, Americans that, helped make the country what it is.
Yeah.
And Ulysses S. Grant said this. I thought this was so good. I wrote it down. Anything is better than indecision. We must decide. If I am wrong, we shall soon find out and can do the other thing. But not to decide wastes both time and money and may ruin everything. I think
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. Wow.
that was a great quote. And that's a better way of saying leadership isn't about getting it right. It's about making pivots. And so I'm just very comfortable now as a leader that I'm not always going to get it right or have the answer, but I've developed a council of people through my team and mentors that if something comes up today that's a crisis, we'll just handle it. We'll just handle it. So
Another day in paradise.
yeah, exactly.
Another day in paradise. So then what's the most important thing to carry with you all the time? Other than your cell phone, because that's too easy.
The most important thing I carry with me all the time, my Bible.
That's important. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we're hiring people, we even tell them we don't have an HR manual. We have the Bible. So if you want to know how you're going to be treated on our team, it's the Bible. Now, you don't have to believe what we believe to work on our team. You just have to respect.
Just know you're good people, that you follow a mission that is, rooted in like being good to people.
Yeah, exactly. And we have people of all kinds of different religions on our team. Because it's not about that for us. It's about, this is what we believe, and we're not going to shy away from it. We just ask that you respect it, and we're going to respect you along the way.
Yeah. I love that. It's all about respect. And a lot of people miss that point. That respect is the most important, almost one of the most important things out there. Just respect each other.
Yeah,
it's not that freaking hard to just show respect. You may not agree, but respect their opinions and go with it.
Absolutely. There are lots of times on my team, we'll have a leadership team meeting, and it's not a unanimous decision. But that's never the goal. The goal is to make what we feel is the right decision at that time.
Absolutely.
Again, we can always pivot. No decision is really permanent here. And that's some people, I've known people that, I'll start coaching somebody and they're like, well, I've been trying to figure out my pricing and,
that's the most pivotable thing out there. Is always adjustable.
Yeah. But they get locked into this. Like they've been working at it for weeks trying to figure out how much to charge. And I'm like, just charge something. Next, if it's not right, charge something different next time. So
figure it out. Absolutely. Yeah. So people can find you at intransitstudios.com. And of course you're on LinkedIn a lot. So
yeah. So intransitstudios.com, that's our digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
We work, helping there. I've also got ericdingler.com. So that's where I do the leadership.
I guess it's not that common in name, so you can get to .com.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, yeah, and I've had it for years. So
the domain age on that. That's good.
Yeah. In fact, we purchased the domain names for all of our kids, even when they were born, and just $12 a year, because who knows if they're ever going to want to do something with them one day.
And then they don't have to find it and argue with someone to get it. They have it. It's done. Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I did with my kid. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the first thing I did. I mean, after he was born, I literally was on. I think it was on Namecheap the day after he was born, because Jews don't do anything prior to birth. So literally, I was building his crib, putting his room together, and buying him his domain name. Because priorities here. I'm a web guy. Priorities.
There you go.
Forget about he can sleep. He can sleep in our bed. Let's get him his domain name first. My wife's looking at me like, she's like, you're insane.
That's right. But that's okay. My wife thinks the same thing. But I'm like, one day we got them.
We'll see. They'll be happy they have it. Exactly.
That's right.
Well, on that note, Eric, thank you for coming on. happy travels, and we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.